What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about how to identify, how to find the next Dogecoin. The next Dogecoin. We're going to talk about that because I feel like it's been a hot topic. I've seen a lot of people compare it, a lot of big accounts. Some people ask me in person like what I think the next Doge is going to be, and I just want to say first and foremost, I don't think anything is going to do what Dogecoin did in the last cycle. Maybe, but I don't know, man. There might not be a next Dogecoin, but I do think that there will be top performers. And I think that what I'm going to go over in this video will help identify potential prospects that could perform very similarly to how Dogecoin did in its previous cycle. So talking about Dogecoin, Dogecoin's been around since 2013. Okay, it was made by a guy who made it after his dog. His dog was a Shiba Inu, so that's the symbol, right? The icon. What's the word? I think symbol's the right word. It's a Shiba Inu on the Dogecoin, right? It was made as a joke. And originally, people in the space, myself included, when they heard about Dogecoin, they hated it because they're like, "This is a joke coin. Why put your money in this? It's obviously a scam." Like, I hate you, Dogecoin, and I love Dogecoin now, but that was like a kind of common thought about it. Meanwhile, there were other people who like embraced it as a joke and were like, "Here, I'll buy some. I'll tip people with it. Like, it doesn't cost me anything. Like, it's just kind of like I think you're cool. I'll tip you some Dogecoin, whatever, And like they just used it like as a joke, right? It wasn't meant to be taken seriously. And then it had its first bull cycle, like its first real bull cycle, and it pumped a lot. There were people that, even though it was a joke, even though it's been a meme throughout its whole existence, there were people that still took it very seriously, but a very small percentage. Most people didn't think much of it, right? They didn't think much of it at all. And this is the secret right there. That, what I just said, is actually the secret to identifying the next Dogecoin, is that people did not take it seriously at all. They didn't take it seriously at all. And because of that, I think Dogecoin is actually, compared to every other crypto, if not every other crypto, 99.9% of them, it had a more similar upbringing to Bitcoin than any other crypto out there. Okay, I just told you about Dogecoin, its upbringing, right? How it started off, how it was a joke coin. The founder of it, even sold all of his Dogecoins, right? And he hates it now. He thinks it's a scam now because he missed the Elon Musk rally, but he's just a little butthurt probably. No offense if you see this, my man. I'm just saying, get over it. but Bitcoin, to why I think it's the most similar to Bitcoin, is because when Bitcoin came out, there were a small percentage of people that took Bitcoin very seriously, right? And the people that made it obviously took it seriously, but there were people who were in like the OG mining, like literally within the first year or two of mining Bitcoin, whenever it was able to be mined on CPUs, that didn't take it seriously, right? They would send it back and forth. If you were in the know, you were in the space of crypto and blockchain. They would send Bitcoins to each other as tips, literally as tips, or like as a sign of like, "Hey man, I think you're cool. Here's a few thousand Bitcoins," because it costed nothing for them, right? It was just this kind of cool nerdy thing that people did. But some people, a smaller percentage of people, knew that it was going to be life-changing, world-changing, economically destabilizing, and just financially uplifting for most of the world, right? Whenever I say financially destabilizing, I just mean upsetting the current establishment of finances. But most people didn't take it seriously. And there were people who even hated it. They didn't even know anything about it. They hated it because it was this intangible coin, crypto coin, that is like meant to be a vehicle for money. Like who would ever use that? That just sounds dumb. But then you look into it and it's like, oh, actually this is anybody who's looked into Bitcoin, they might not like it before, but if you've looked into it, you've got no choice but to like it, man. That's what I think. Any hater out there for Bitcoin or crypto, they just haven't given it the time of day to look it up, because I think it's impossible to hate it after you've looked it up. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. The similarity is that this thought, this unawareness that Bitcoin was going to be something serious, allowed it to be decentralized. It allowed it to be decentralized. There were a lot of people that sent it to just random wallets that they lost the keys to, they forgot about. There's a guy in the UK right now, I forget where, but there's this story that's been around since I've been in crypto that he's going through the dumper. He will pay anybody who can find his hard drive that has the Bitcoins on there. He will pay them half of like whatever it's worth, which I think is like $400 million or something like that. There are $400 million worth of Bitcoins potentially in a dump somewhere in the UK. Look this story up. I'm not making it up. And that should just show you, right? It's worth $400 million now, but back then it wasn't worth anything. People didn't take it seriously, is what I'm trying to say. And that is really the secret to finding the next Dogecoin, guys. To finding the next Dogecoin, you have to find a project that is solid in its code, absolutely solid. It has a decent community. It has all the reasons for hype to get behind it, and it can't have fatal, critical issues that will allow it to get rug pulled and go to zero, right? It has to be secure. The only problem with that is anybody that tries to make the next Dogecoin or tries to make the next Bitcoin or tries to do whatever, they want to make the next biggest currency or biggest crypto in the space. If it's a good idea, they're going to allocate some to themselves. They're going to allocate some to their team. They're going to allocate some to the initial investors. And beyond all of that, it'll be new. It's new. Bitcoin's the oldest project. Dogecoin being around since 2013, it's not the oldest project, but it's one of the oldest cryptos. One of the best gauges of safety in crypto is time. If you've got something that's existed for 1 year, okay, cool. How many users are on there? Has it grown enough to where a hacker might be enticed to actually get involved and try to mess with it to find flaws so they can cash out? Is it big enough for that? Bitcoin's absolutely big enough. If there were people that could hack Bitcoin and make off with billions of dollars, they would do it, but they can't because it's so developed. It's been around for so long. The blockchain itself is so immense. The computing power is so immense, it's impossible to hack it. Dogecoin has been around for so long that maybe in its early days, if someone really wanted to mess with it, they could have, but they can't now, man. There's too much going on with it. It's been around for too long. And maybe certain cryptos can get hacked. I'm not a software engineer or a programmer or anything like that. I'm just going off of hearsay here. But time, the amount of time that something has been around, is a symbol of its security. Okay, Dogecoin has had no fatal flaws since 2013. Since its inception, it's had no fatal flaws that have caused it to rug pull or exit scam, any backdoors like that, right? It's been tried and tested through time, and that's a very important thing, right? Because a lot of these cryptos that want to be the next Dogecoin, they're new. They don't have a lot of time, right? And with that, there can be vulnerabilities or flaws that the developers didn't see or foresee, and the wrong person comes along, they start pushing at buttons or back doors or whatever, and they find an opening. There can be fatal flaws in something that literally rug pulls or like just ends a project, right? I mean, Luna was in theory, anybody that knows Terra Luna, I'm sure everybody does, was in theory a pretty solid project. It got backed by a lot of like high profile people, and it had a fatal flaw. It had a fatal flaw that ultimately time gave the opportunity for someone to get the right idea to exploit it. It doesn't matter how good of a coin it was or how good of an idea it was or what the potential was beforehand. Time made it its bitch, where Dogecoin and Bitcoin have made time their bitch. You know what I mean? So, and I think that it'll continue to do that. So I'm getting off track here. What I really want to hammer on is the fact that you need a coin. The next Dogecoin will be exactly like this, okay? If there's one at all, okay? It's going to be a coin that's been around for at least multiple cycles. Let's say at least 2 bull markets and at least 2 bear markets, okay? It's going to be a coin that not only has been around for multiple cycles, but also a lot of people, if not damn near the whole space, knows about, but they don't take it seriously. And they discount it. Even if it's got solid code, even if it's cheaper to send and it's efficient and it has no fatal flaws and it's secure and it's decentralized, it's going to have been around for a while and nobody's going to take it seriously. And nobody does take it seriously. Nobody sees it coming, but everybody knows about it. Been around for a while, Nobody takes it seriously, but everybody has their eyes on it more or less, right? And specifically, if you can get this fourth one, this is the real kicker. Nobody wants to see it succeed, or the vast majority of people don't want to see it succeed. So there are not too many cryptos out there that are like that, right? That have been around for multiple bear markets, multiple bull markets, that has a solid foundation to the project, solid fundamentals, can't be rug pulled, can't be hacked, stuff like that. There are not a lot out there. It's really hard to say. And beyond that are decentralized, that maybe, a lot of people held it once, but people just kind of gave up on it and sold out of it. But there is one coin that comes to my mind, and I might get some heat for this. I'm not trying to play favorites here. For the maximalists of this coin, I'm sure it's obvious, but as far as it being decentralized goes, it may or may not be, but I think it is more decentralized than a lot of cryptos, especially a lot of like newer cryptos. But Bitcoin Cash, BCH, I feel like fits this narrative perfectly. If I had to guess what the next Dogecoin is going to be of this cycle, I would I am putting a lot of my chips into Bitcoin Cash. Why? Why am I putting it into Bitcoin Cash? Everybody knows about it. Everybody in crypto knows about Bitcoin Cash. They hear about it as, oh, it's the wannabe Bitcoin. It's the scam project. Roger Ver, this guy who's a crazy lunatic on YouTube, who's not crazy. He's actually really smart, and he's a crypto. If there was a crypto evangelist, he's literally got the nickname Bitcoin Jesus for a reason. Look that up. Like he's one of the OGs in the space, man, and he backs Bitcoin Cash, and he very much is, I think, a cause for good in this space. He gets a lot more flack than he deserves. But Roger, if you're out there, I would just love to say thank you, man. Like for everything that you've done for the space. Really, he got a lot of heat and a lot of bad publicity. But beyond that, he put Bitcoin Cash on the map, nonetheless. Everybody knows about Bitcoin Cash. Maybe not some of the newer people, but a lot of people know it as like this wannabe Bitcoin, right? They don't take the time to look at it, so therefore they hate it. They don't like it. They don't want to see it succeed. It's a wannabe Bitcoin. Why would they want to see it succeed? But they haven't looked into it. They haven't looked into the fact that it's faster, it's cheaper, it's more, what's the word I'm looking for? It's more optimal, it's more efficient, right? And it's pretty decentralized. Compared to a lot of cryptos out there, it actually is pretty decentralized. And there are no fatal flaws in it. The code is actually literally, it's the better Bitcoin, right? Ethereum, I make this comparison. Ethereum used to be Ethereum Classic, right? It's ETC. ETC, what was Ethereum, hard forked and became ETH 2.0. It became Ethereum, but it kept the name Ethereum. Ethereum Classic didn't keep the name. The new Ethereum did. BTC hard forked into BCH, BTC 2.0. The difference between Ethereum and Ethereum Classic is the same as BTC to Bitcoin Cash. ETH 2.0 is the better code. The only difference really is that the community went with ETH, where the community was hard split and the majority of it stayed with BTC. But Bitcoin Cash, again, coming back to these kind of ideas, everybody knows about it, or most of the space knows about it. The fourth and most important thing, we're going to rock on with this, right, is that nobody wants to see it succeed. Sorry, I think everybody knows about it was this one, so we're gonna do that. The first is that it's been around for multiple cycles. I've got this, and I forget what the third one was, man. It was been around for multiple cycles. Everybody knows about it. It's taken as it's not taken seriously, and then people hate it, right? I think that's what it was. And I think Bitcoin Cash, all this rumbling to get to that point, I think Bitcoin Cash fits that category perfectly. I think if there was a crypto that is going to be the next Dogecoin, I think Bitcoin Cash has the qualifications for it. And I think the more you look into BCH, it'll actually make a lot more sense, in my opinion. But I could be wrong. This video really wasn't meant to be a BCH video. It was more meant to just kind of bring out the ideas of how to find the next Dogecoin. But again, to me, it's the similarities between Dogecoin's upbringing and Bitcoin's upbringing, BTC's upbringing. They're very similar. Different codes, different protocols. Bitcoin is inflationary. Everyone has a problem, man. This is, if you guys have stayed around for this, you're going to get the word right, okay? Because people don't know what to call Bitcoin. They're like, well, it's inflationary, but eventually it holds a solid market cap. It'll no longer grow. So it's inflationary, but the rate of inflation is deflationary. And people will be like, it's kind of deflationary. It's not deflationary. Bitcoin's not deflationary, and it is inflationary technically. But eventually what it's going to be, the word that people are looking for, which is just a word that we've never had because we've never had something like this before. Bitcoin is the first asset in the world to ever be stationary. It's going to be stationary. That's the word. Inflationary, deflationary, stationary. And we've never had something that has a fixed supply before, right? You can't, like gold has a fixed supply on the planet. Okay, cool, but they're going to be mining. There's going to be more gold supply till our great grandkids are dead, right? There's going to be more supply added. Who knows how much we're going to... The idea of actually mining on asteroids or other planets is like sound. Like that's actually something that's not just like possible, but probable. And, you know, as you know, we progress as a society, space exploration will become easier, right? And finding things like that might be more common. Maybe they're not. Maybe we're the only planet with gold. I don't know. I don't think that's true though. But I'm getting off topic here, man. What I'm really trying to talk about is that in order to find the next Dogecoin, I forget what I was just saying a second ago, man. But I'll finish it off with this. You want to find the next Dogecoin, you got to find something that's been around for multiple cycles. It's old. Nobody gives it the credit that maybe not that it deserves, but nobody gives it the time of day. But everybody knows about it. Everyone's aware of it. They might check in on it, right? Just because they're secretly hoping that it shits the bed, or maybe they're like, oh, that's cool. It's up 100% today. Haha, this like no name whatever coin. Multiple cycles, right? So that it's secure. Decentralized, right? As in nobody's taking it seriously. It's, you know, it can be a joke coin, whatever. If you have people who hate it with a burning passion for just no reason, it's just because they want to hate it. If they actually looked into it, they might actually like it, but they just want to hate it. And then I forget what the other thing was, man. But yeah, you can play it back. I'm fizzling out here. So with that, I'll leave you. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. There are not a lot of coins that have this potential, that have this kind of upbringing, but I do think they exist. I do think they're out there, and I think Bitcoin Cash fits that criteria. But I think there are plenty of other coins, maybe not plenty of other coins, but there are probably more out there that fit that criteria too. So if you want to find the next Dogecoin, that's my thoughts. I hope I don't sound too crazy, or if I do, whatever. Yeah, that's all I got for you. So take care. Have a good day. Subscribe. Hit the like button. Hit it. Hit it real good. And drink some water. Drink some water. Oh yeah. I was saying that Bitcoin was stationary. I think that's what I was saying. I don't know, man. Anyways, hell of an ending. Bye-bye.